I noticed during the demo that the real-world aspect extends to the fact that getting around requires you to look at a map and have a compass.
Yes. Yeah.
To what extent do people have to get used to the idea of orienteering, or is the map a little cleverer than that?
I mean, well, it's certainly clever in the sense that there's an arrow on it. I mean, we don't literally force the player to kind of figure out which grid he's in and then align himself. I mean, that would suck. Okay, like we're not.
Well, we took a decision early in the beginning. We don't want to have a radar on screen. Right. We don't want to have, you know, a 2D animated map on screen all the time. As you saw, there's almost no HUD. But when it comes in, it comes in for a reason, because it needs to give you that specific information at that moment. So we really want to get, you know, the total sense of immersion for the player. And we feel that having a map, you know, in an open world is exactly what's needed for the type of game that we have, you know, at least just, you know, to stay with that immersive experience. The other thing is that we've greatly got, you know, our map system is way better than what you've seen now. You know, what you saw was a build that was late November, and we've rebuilt our map system. It's way better, and the player really can get around. And, you know, that was a controlled demo, so we go from point A to point B. We still know where we're going. When you're in the map, the player will have more time, you know, to observe, see the landmarks, establish, you know, where he wants to go and where our objectives are. All his objectives are in the map, so he knows where he needs, you know, to go, in which direction. So it's pretty powerful tool to give the information. But we've decided to stay really the immersed way and keeping, you know, radars and shit like that out of the.
So we only showed one of our map modes also in the demo.
We have multiple layers as well.
Yeah. Cool. So that also helps to have that different sense of scale.
Yeah.
From a PS3 only standpoint, what is there in terms of home integration and accomplishments?
We can't say too much about that, since we're not talking about accomplishments or anything on achievements on the consoles and what kind of rewards we can get on the PC side. But you can count on them. You can make sure that we're working really hard. It's actually something that, you know, you think about at the beginning of development, then you go into a full production, you tend to forget a little bit. But when you get to the end, you really need to focus on making sure, because you know, they're directly linked to the final game that you have. So it's part of the last process, but we've been thinking about it, and we've had actually pretty good ideas of how we can reward the player.
Yeah.
Make sure there's a real progression.
Yeah, there's no shortage of suggestions on
No. As you can see, there's a lot of things that are there, a lot of ingredients to play with, and actually, if we would need to double the number of achievements and rewards and stuff like that, ideally, because we got so much stuff.
Yeah, I think if we're just operating within the constraints that we've been given, I mean, there's no shortage, there's no you know, threat of us running out of ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. And just before we wrap up, game's been, what, 3 years in the making already?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Looks pretty incredible because of it already, I have to say. But what's left to do, and how far are you away from going gold?
Well, we're polishing now. We're really finalizing systems, making sure that they're polished properly. That's what makes a game unique. It's when it's extremely well polished. I'll give you an example. Call of Duty is a game that's extremely well polished. Gamers like it because it is a prime quality product. And this is what we want to achieve. We've got a lot of features. Now it's the time to close them, to converge, and make sure we got a complete game, and polish each of these systems together so we really have a complete experience. So we're at that point now where we're actually having a lot of fun because we're playing the game now, which is, you know, we're playing it every day, making suggestions. You know, do we have time to add this? We need to adapt this part. We need to, you know, change a few things, and that makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the good thing for us, too, is that with a game this systemic and this sort of dependent on having lots of ingredients kind of allocated properly to make it interesting and also make it, you know, challenging and also fun, it's really vitally important for us to have enough time to let people, not just us, but people who are kind of coming into it with a fresh set of eyes, play it extensively, because, you know, we can be as thorough as we want to be and be as thorough as as discipline permit, and we're still not going to catch everything that those guys are going to catch. Because you can't think of...
Well, we've been on it for 3 years, you know, we're like that.
We get a bit of tunnel vision. Oh yeah, absolutely, it happens. And what's great about it is, you know, every single person brings a slightly different stylistic approach to the game with them, and so they pick up the controller, or they pick up the mouse and start playing it. You know, they're gonna uncover all sorts of horrendous things. So we're right now, you know, we sort of said we need to take that time. We need to be able to sort of freeze some of our features and focus on seeing how well they interact with each other. And occasionally we discover new things that we need to address. Yeah. But it's by and large, it's been a steady improvement, like, for the last month or so, and it's going to continue to hopefully move in that direction.
And one of our readers already already asked about a potential release date. Is there anything on the cards?
We're talking fall 2008. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Pretty much all we can say at this point. There's going to be an official announcement relatively soon.
Check us at UB Days. Check us at UB Days. That's coming end of May. It's around, I think it's 28th and 29th of May. It's going to be online. There'll be some hands-on for the lucky journalists that are going to be there, and we'll show PS3, 360, and PC. But I know you PS3 fans will be pretty much ecstatic of the level of quality they can expect out of this title.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for your time.
Very much.
Thanks, no problem.